Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. Today is April 27th, 2022, and we're doing a sewer scope here in Salt Lake. We are at 1346 East Thornton Ave. We've got the camera pushed out 100 feet to the city connection. Now we're going to record it and see what we find. So this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. This is a cast iron pipe. Cast iron is what they would have originally used when they built this house. The issue with cast iron is it'll get very rough and rusty. They can catch on debris, which can lead to a blockage and back up. I'd say this looks like average cast for the age. There's a fair amount of build-up. This is my second attempt with trying to get through this line. I first tried with a different camera head, and I wasn't able to get through, so I switched to a smaller one. And with this camera head, it doesn't self-level, and so the top of the screen is actually the bottom of the pipe. So if you see the water running on the top, that's why. There's a couple options with cast iron to help prevent blockages. You can coat the line where they cut it with a chain cutter. That takes off a small layer and makes it smooth again. You can't do it all the time because it does thin the pipe, but it can help every once in a while to make it smooth and get rid of all this rust. Cast iron is a little more difficult to evaluate because if you have cracks or damage, it's a little harder to see through all that rust.
Is cast iron the whole length of it? So you're not just...
Now watch this water. Water's running. I haven't seen any areas with significant amounts of standing water. And so when it is time to upgrade the line, you could consider doing a liner. That's cheaper than digging up the entire pipe, but it's pretty rusty. There's a good view of it. You can see kind of the rust that builds up. When you have cast iron, you always want to avoid using wet wipes or flushing feminine hygiene products. You don't want to put anything down the line that you don't absolutely need to. I've not seen any roots, which is good. I would recommend to anyone using this line to get the insurance on it. There's a little bit of waste stuck in the line. Looks like a wet wipe. That's what can happen with cast iron, is waste can get stuck, and then that can create a blockage. Hopefully water is going to carry that out, but that's how a blockage starts. Is something gets stuck, and then more stuff gets stuck on it, and then eventually you have a blockage, and the water can't go by, and it backs up into the house. They have insurance through HomeServe. I think in Salt Lake it's supplemented, and so it's a lot cheaper than what they would normally charge. Here's some standing water. This is enough that it's covering my entire camera head, and so this is a flat spot or a belly. This is probably under the house, and so this would be a lot harder to access. You always want the line to have proper grade so that everything is draining on its own, out with gravity. When you have bellies or flat spots like this, waste can build up and get stuck. It's a lot easier for it to go out, and so that can also lead to a backup. Not real long, but enough that it did cover my camera head. Now we transitioned. It looked like a little bit of ABS, and so there's some new plumbing here in the basement. It looks like ABS is a plastic pipe. Very good. So I'm going to end this recording now.